PC shipments down, Mac shipments up, or were they? This is MacVoices. Today's edition of MacVoices is supported by RocketMoney. Take full control of your subscriptions with RocketMoney at rocketmoney.com/MacVoices. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, the final topic for this MacVoices live panel is the reported downturn in worldwide PC shipments. What does that mean for Apple, if anything? Let's go back and let the panel do the talking. Yeah, here's another story, and this one's a little more business oriented. Mark Fuccio threw this in our Slack, and I'm sorry he's not here tonight to discuss it, but worldwide PC shipments declined another 15% in the third quarter of 2022, according to IDC Tracker. Does this surprise anybody, given the recession talk and all? I mean, and I guess the good news was that Macs, according to IDC, was that they were the IDC was up. Excuse me, Mac was up. Yeah,
a lot.
Up. Yeah, but the rest was down, or were down, whatever. So, it's. I mean, I was not surprised. I think it's a good sign for Apple, and I'm surprised that maybe this didn't get a little more play in some of the mainstream tech press.
This is just more confirmation that the whole numbers thing for Mac sales is a total crock, because no one knows what the Mac sales really are. Apple doesn't announce that. IDC said it was 10 million. I think it was Gartner said it was 5 million for the same quarter. So who knows how many Macs are really sold?
Well, according to IDC, it's saying 7.1 million.
Okay, 7.1 million.
Again, where do they get that number?
Gartner's like 5 million.
Yeah.
So no one knows.
Well, no one outside of Apple.
Right. No one outside of Apple knows. All the people that are reporting on this have no clue.
So, Andrew,
that never stops them.
Yeah, Andrew, I want your comment on that, because this is what you do for a living. I mean, how do you reconcile some of this? Because I know you, and we know a lot of people in the tech press, they want to give you accurate information, and yet, sometimes you look at this stuff and it's like, well, what do you do with it?
Yeah, I didn't cover this story for Apple Insider, but I agree with Jeff. I've heard conflicting numbers, and so I think a lot of these, or some of these analysts are, I don't know where they're getting their numbers from.
I can tell you.
Go ahead, Guy.
Out of their ass.
Okay, well, I was hoping for a little more politically correct, but I didn't get it. So it's just
their butt. There you go.
It was your fault, Chuck. You asked.
That's true. That's true.
I think that is the politically correct version of the answer.
Yeah.
Brad in the chat room says part shortage or recession. Yeah, good point, Brad. The whole supply chain thing means that maybe the computers weren't there or fully assembled to be bought if they wanted them.
Well,
but
I thought there was like a big jump in 2020 and 21 because people were working from home and they were doing school from home. So all these people needed to buy computers, and now they don't think they need to do those things, so they don't need those computers anymore. So they're not, they've all got new computers. They're not buying new computers. Even if they were working from home, they just got a new computer. So it makes perfect sense that sales would be down. I mean, it would be pretty shocking if they weren't.
Jim, I agree, because when the pandemic was first coming on and we were all headed into lockdown, trying to get laptops or small desktops was a major thing.
Yeah.
Forget having the stores open, just trying to get them. Webb, did you guys have any experience at your company with this?
A couple of comments, if I will. First of all, as we go back to the IDC report, one of the things that I think kind of skews things in this new reality that we're in is that when we start trying to compare year over year, when the last couple of years have been really bizarre, from just a comparison standpoint. That's something that I've been dealing with. We've had all kinds of problems, supply chain, getting computers, and some of those other issues. We'd order a medium to high end HP laptop, and it could take 30 to 60 days for it to come in, and sometimes we don't even get what we ordered, but that's another story. So yeah, it's been a challenge. It's softening now than it has been, but then again, I've been waiting for a Mac Studio for 90 days. So it's been a long road. So
what if you don't mind us asking now, which configuration of the Mac Studio did you order?
I got dual studio monitors. I got 64 gigs of memory, 2 terabyte drives, and I ordered 2 of them. So one for myself, one for my secretary. I mentioned this before. I'm replacing a trash can Mac Pro that I've had for now 9 years. So, and the computer itself is doing fine, but with the M processor changeover and all that, I think it's just time to move on. So,
yeah.
If you believe these IDC numbers, then Apple is closing in on Dell in market share. So I think Dell should close the company down and give the money back to their shareholders.
Thank you,
we are a subscriber to Gartner. Corporately, we're a subscriber. I'm not justifying what the numbers are and how they report them, but I do know that they do some pretty extensive surveying of different distributors, but Apple doesn't fall into that category because they handle so much of their own distribution. I don't know how they get theirs, but I know that Gartner has a pretty extensive survey system where they try to track shipments and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think for the other vendors, they've got some chance of having somewhat reasonable numbers, but for Apple, there's nowhere to get the numbers.
It's all based on Best Buy and Micro Center. That's it.
But not CompUSA?
I suppose Amazon.
Tiger Direct.
Would Amazon give them any information? I don't know. But did Apple really grow 40%? I mean, that maybe that's not getting more press because the press doesn't believe it. But still, 40%. That's
and don't I recall at some point that who was it was going to start counting iPads as notebooks? Now we have as laptops
or laptops.
Yeah. Let's take this whole full circle. Weren't they starting to consider the iPads computers?
What's a computer?
Oh gosh.
Okay, well, this page says does not include tablets or servers.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just.
Well, servers wouldn't help Apple anyway.
No, they're out of that.
Right, but I'm just reading the language on this. Or actually, it says it doesn't include x86 servers. maybe it includes ARM servers. Oh, and interestingly, IEC calls them notebooks, not laptops.
Well, they didn't get the memo.
Lies, damn lies.
They'll change the language after this show.
Yeah, lies, damn lies, and statistics. David, I asked Webb about their purchasing during the pandemic or at the start. Did you guys see the same thing? And as far as being able to get laptops or get computers to give to your people before they went home?
Yeah, it was tough. There was the laptops with the supply chain was just very difficult. Webb wasn't alone. There's many vendors, many companies. I talked to friends and they were having challenges, and we were too. And it's just, it's just hard. When you're working with exclusively with Dell, and then you're also working a little bit with Apple, more so Dell. Dell in itself, I think, has been having supply chain issues for a while now. It's finally starting to clear up with Dell, honestly. Now, I mean, after so many years, 2.5 years. I mean, we were going out 3 months on laptops, being able to get them, and same thing with monitors and with docking stations was the worst. I mean, there were some that they pushed back docking stations like 6 months. Just couldn't get the parts in because everybody does think as a docking station actually is kind of a computer. I mean, it does boot up. It has a fan. I mean, it's something that you have to deal with as well. But yeah, in general, yeah, Dell was not great. I think all of the Lenovo and HP and anybody on this report, but there was definitely some supply chain challenges. Just because of China. Now, a lot of it was built in China, as we know, and I definitely say that we weren't alone.
Well, I know. I still, no, she just got it. I know a coworker was waiting on a MacBook Pro, a high-end MacBook Pro, and it was a month and a half, 2 months to get it. So
I've been ordering. I just placed some orders with Apple, and they're next day. I mean, it's the core model. With even adding a terabyte. Just the M1 Pro 16-inch with a 1 terabyte drive, 16 gigs of RAM. They have it in stock.
But that's a standard M1, not one of the.
I mean, I did order. I mean, I see orders when it comes to the higher end ones. The M1 Max and added all that stuff, and it shipped pretty quick, surprisingly.
Well,
Eric's in a big organization. What have you guys seen?
It was pretty bad for a while. It definitely has gotten kind of better. We had been ordering machines without a need for them, so that when somebody asked, we didn't have to tell them it was a 3 to 6 month wait. Now we can wait until somebody actually needs a machine, order it, and it's about a month, which is workable.
Eric, are you a PC shop or a Mac shop, or a combination, or just a Mac shop?
Combination. I mean, I don't deal with anything other than Macs, but we've got Windows, Linux, and Mac.
Okay. Yeah, just
servers are hard though, because there's no extra machines out there. The used server market is difficult.
Well, if you go down that road, you go down to servers. Many companies are going to the cloud. I mean, many companies. It's just the cost of ownership on a server is just too great that you can get the same, if not more improved results with a cloud-based server than you can with having it in house.
A lot of governments
the cloud works well.
Yeah, a lot of governments, a lot of companies are going that way now. I remember it was all servers back in the day when I was working, and now it's all cloud.
The cloud works well unless you've got data that you have to control where it goes. If you have to maintain control of it and it can't go anywhere else, then the cloud can be a little bit more difficult.
Well, I don't know if we want to go down this topic, but I mean, I think information security for companies is obviously a very, very vital thing these days, and the fact of the matter is, it gets scrutinized before you even decide. Do you really want to go cloud? And if Microsoft has to, in case of Microsoft, because you're probably using OneDrive, you have to make sure that it's secure. I mean, some companies don't even allow the options of sharing outside of OneDrive. I mean, they keep it internal only, just for that reason. Just you get concerned that there could be an issue with security. So in that sense, I mean, because everything is on OneDrive these days, or Dropbox, or however you decide to do your cloud. Most of those services do offer very secure. Google is the same way. It's just servers are just very expensive now. So, I mean, it's cost of ownership is really the thing. Is the servers themselves aren't expensive, but just the actual cost
Well,
of operation.
we've gone almost full circle. We're almost back to well, damn it, what do they call
Mainframes and
those?
dumb terminals.
Yeah,
Dumb terminals, yeah. Yeah, I mean, really, you think about that,
we might
yeah.
as well be using WordStar at this point. You know, a prettier version of that.
This edition of Mac Voices is supported by RocketMoney. Cancel unnecessary subscriptions today with RocketMoney at rocketmoney.com/MacVoices. Are you wasting money on subscriptions? 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about. Maybe for you it's an unused Amazon Prime account or a Hulu account that never gets streamed, or a magazine subscription that you're still paying for. Is that even a thing anymore? There's this great app that helps you track all of your expenses, and because of it, you will no longer waste money on subscriptions you don't even use. Subscriptions of any kind that you don't even use. You may have heard of it. It's called RocketMoney, formerly known as Truebill. RocketMoney shows all your subscriptions in one place and cancels what you don't want for you. RocketMoney can even help you find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for. You may even find out that you've been double charged for some subscriptions. To cancel a subscription, all you have to do is press cancel, and RocketMoney takes care of the rest. Get rid of useless subscriptions with RocketMoney now. Go to rocketmoney.com/MacVoices. Seriously, it could save you hundreds per year. That's rocketmoney.com/MacVoices. rocketmoney.com/MacVoices. Thanks to RocketMoney for supporting this week's Mac Voices.
If an organization's big enough, it's kind of like insurance. A big organization may consider self-insurance. And the same way, a big organization may want to just run their own. And I imagine, Eric, you're probably talking more about database servers and stuff like that, like Oracle or SQL Server, or you're not talking about things like Dropbox and OneBox, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of it's just processing chunks of data. If you've got a terabyte of data, you've got to process it, but all the data is either proprietary or protected. You have to make sure that there's an agreement with everybody who's involved with that data. If you stick it out on the cloud, you no longer know where it went. And, it's harder to make sure there's an agreement with whoever the organization is, and not everybody is willing to do that. So that gets more complicated. It's more of a political problem.
Well, and back in the day, to Guy's point, with servers and dumb terminals, but now we have so much better, so much more effective bandwidth that now we can move the data around, and we're moving a lot of different kinds of data. We're not just moving text documents or spreadsheets or word processing. Now we're moving images and video and 4K video and 8K video, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's the same world, but it's a different world.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting discussion and interesting point. And I guess I looked at this and I thought, boy, does this surprise anybody? And I admit I didn't think back far enough to recognize that maybe people that would have replaced computers maybe replaced them earlier, or maybe just bought some and at the beginning of the pandemic it didn't need anymore. So maybe these numbers shouldn't be as alarming as the tech press might have us believe. That was not a shock.
Anytime there isn't positive growth, all these companies start panicking. So much of this is in a cycle. So if you've got a company that suddenly needs a lot of computers, well, it's going to be a couple of years before they need a like number of computers again. And you have enough companies that are in that particular pendulum, then you're going to have possibly some negative growth. It's why so many software developers now are going to what I consider a very hated subscription service, so that they have that general every year kind of income, instead of just selling you a product once and then hoping that you'll buy it again when they update it.
Yeah.
But the alternative is not having them in business, Guy. And I'd rather I will make the decisions about what subscription level I find acceptable before I find an alternative. But I'd rather have them give me that option so that I can try to help make sure they're around to service that product.
I mean, yeah, many big corporations watch for that. They have dedicated purchasing agents that take care of all that, negotiate contracts, and Microsoft is a big juggernaut. They want to charge a lot of money for their services, and they don't know they can do it, especially within the corporate world. So you gotta have people that are looking at what the proper subscription is for that particular need.
Well, thank goodness Apple doesn't do that.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
I was waiting. Yeah. Nobody touched it, Guy. I was kind of surprised.
I know. I was kind of surprised.
I was muted, so.
Guys, it's been a good discussion. Thank you very much. We're going to go around the room because we have so many outros to get through. But thank you. I really didn't expect the AirTag discussion to get quite that much attention, but maybe we opened some people's eyes.
It was very esoteric, so you must have known. That was going to happen.
Yeah. If we go mainstream, nothing happens. We go esoteric, and is that it, Guy? Good.
Pretty much.
Oh man. So let's go around the room, and then we'll get out of here. So I'm going to do what I've been doing and start at the bottom and work my way up. But that doesn't mean that Web Bixby is at the bottom. He just happens to be at the bottom of my screen because he disconnected and had to come back.
Come back.
Yeah. But thanks so much for being here. Where can folks connect with you?
Thank you, Chuck. It's always fun. I get a lot out of this. Anyway, Twitter, Web Bixby, one word, and Facebook, Web Bixby, 2 words. So, but that's it. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Mr. Andrew Orr, where can folks connect with you and also keep up with all your writings?
Hey, you can find me writing over at appleinsider.com, and you can find me on Twitter. My username is @AndrewOrNot.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Andrew. Keep pumping out the good stuff. We appreciate it.
I will.
Mr. Serle, it's good to see you back after a bit of an absence. Where's the best place for folks to connect with you? Are you still doing all your stuff?
I'm still doing all my stuff. Guy's Daily Drive, once or twice a week, where I talk into a live cam while driving to work, which is probably the stupidest idea ever, which is why I probably do it. I also do, of course, the mymac.com podcast, as I have for 12 years or so with Gaz. And you can find me on Twitter as either Mac Parrot or Vert Shark. You can find the Vert Shark channel over there on the YouTube. So like, share, subscribe. It's so easy. It's all you got to do. As well as my email address, which is guy@mymac.com.
Excellent. Thank you, Guy.
Guy, it sounds like you need to rename it to Guy's Not Quite Daily Drive.
Well, yeah, the original plan was to do it every day, but then I found out I just didn't have that much to say.
What? You?
What? Who?
What?
Wow. Okay. We'll be back to that topic next week, folks. Jeff Gamet.
Nothing to say, right?
Jeff Gamet, the man who does the research for us. Thank you so much. Where can folks connect with you?
Someone's got to do the research. Too bad I didn't get paid for that. Anyhow, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm Jay Gamet on all of those. Here on Tuesdays with you, Thursdays with Dave on In Touch with iOS. Then also on the Big Show on Thursdays and the Mac Show on Fridays, and the Context Machine with Brian Chaffin. And we have a new episode dropping tomorrow. So there you go.
Excellent. And if you guys will excuse me a second, I'm going to go set up a GoFundMe page so that we can get Jeff paid for his research.
Sweet.
So Jim Ray, thank you for all your insights. Where is the best place for folks to find you?
You can find me at my website for my company, which is provue.com, PROVUE, and also more personally at ProVueJim on the Twitter.
Excellent. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Warren Sklar is sticking his arm outside of bathysphere to see if the Apple Watch will let him connect with the satellites.
I'm going to get the Ultra so then I can parachute out and, be Ultra.
That's good.
Thanks for having me. Well, you're the one who said I was going to stick my arm out a window. I went with it. Yeah. Anyhow, good to be here. Thanks for having me. Facebook is still around. Twitter's I don't do. So don't worry about that if it goes away. And Dave's thing on Thursday, and it's good to be back. I'm still a little jet lagged, so bear with me.
So what is your actual Twitter handle?
W Sklar, I think.
There you go.
Yeah. I add it every week, so
the best part is after Warren said his Twitter handle, he followed it up with, I think.
Yeah. I have no idea, and I don't check it, so but.
Oh, so the one social media network that you say you're on, you don't check. Is that what you're saying?
I said I'm on Facebook, and I check that. And, I check. I know. I get tagged from Chuck on LinkedIn for some reason, and tagged on Twitter with Dave for some reason. I see those, and other than I just see the emails or notifications, but I don't really go there.
Warren's just off in his own little world.
I am.
It's his own social network.
Yeah.
Screw you guys. I'm going to make my own social network. It's going to have beer and gambling.
Oh, man.
Blackjack and hookers.
It's going to have blackjack and hookers.
Where do we sign up?
Oh, Andrew, that was a good one.
Thank you, Andrew. If we had show titles, that would be it right there.
That's where he's...
Oh, man, that was good.
Eric Bolden, the man who is just right here tonight, started the foldable rumor in relation to notebooks. Eric, what's the best place for folks to connect with you?
And you can no longer find me anywhere. I'm not at any. I reached EA Bolden on Twitter, and I'm hiding everywhere else, so that's a good spot.
You're smart man. Thanks so much, Eric. Last but absolutely not least, as usual, up in the angelic left-hand corner, Mr. David Ginsburg. David, thanks for being here. Where can folks connect with you?
Thanks for having me. You can find me at In Touch with iOS at intouchwithios.com. YouTube channel is youtube.com/intouchwithios. I'm on the Mac Show on Fridays on the British Tech Network. I'm also on Twitter at DaveG65 and at In Touch with iOS. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Folks, this is Mac Voices Live. We do this craziness Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, whatever time that is, wherever you are. We would love to have you join us in the chat room. The chat room has been up and down tonight as far as comments, but I really appreciate everything. The thing I love about it is, usually everybody that shows up says at least something, throws one or two comments in. So thank you all for it. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you showing up every week. With that, we will be back with more soon. Definitely set whatever alarm, alerts, reminders you need to set to join us next Tuesday, and we'll do it all again. Until then, and as always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with Mac Voices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.